Bless up, my people. Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, Anisabel Rose. Thanks to all new subscribers. Thanks to the returning subscribers. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn the post notification bell on. Put it on all so you won't miss an upload from me. On the road to 20k, help to get there, my people. Stay tuned for the details at hand. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Run go over to my other platform. Subscribe over there. Get that channel to 1k. Please and thanks.
We have issues relating to overtime. So the overtime policy is to be released. We have the uniform policy to be released. We have agreed in principle on matters relating to motor vehicle mileage. What we were at odds about was the increment. Increment in itself was not discussed as part of the compensation restructuring. What they have done is withheld the increment that public sector workers are entitled to based on their performance and did not factor those in the budget. Going back to the table, we indicated that that was not a part of the discussion, and therefore we will not accept that persons will be at one point of the scale for 3 years without moving. And so we came to a decision that public sector workers will be paid their increment. However, we are saying, since we have agreed in principle on some of those items, most of those items, release those items so that public sector workers can benefit in the meantime while we discuss the other outstanding matters. It's nothing that is unreasonable, but what Ministry of Finance said, it is a package deal. So basically, we have to accept everything. So it's all or nothing. And we're saying, no, it is not a dictatorship. It is a partnership.
In the discussions that we had with the government, there was no indication that we needed to treat with the entire package or else nothing would be implemented. There was no such understanding. That is sometimes an approach that's taken to negotiations, but the point is that it was never mentioned in the discussions that we had with the government until we wrote to them asking for those items that we had agreement on for them to implement.
So you came to that understanding that they would be proceeding for the package approach when? When did that come up? You said you wrote to them.
When we actually wrote to them and asked for them to begin implementing those items that we have agreed on.
In June 2023, we met with the Confederation and provided a set of proposals on these matters, and they wrote back in response 5 months later in November 2023. We promptly met with them in December 2023 and came to an agreement on 8 of 9 items in their written response. Only 1 item remained. During our meeting, we provided an updated proposal on that item, which they were to consider and get back. Given this progress in discussions, a disruption or even a threat of disruption would be an unnecessary escalation that the public must see in the context of a competition for resources. This is almost a doubling of public sector compensation from 222 billion or 9.6% of GDP to 414 billion or 12.6% of GDP across only 3 fiscal years. While we believe this to be justified and deserved, to accomplish it has meant that other items of expenditure that benefit other segments of our Jamaican society have had to be postponed. Illustrating the point, over the same 3 fiscal years, expenditure on programs that impact nearly 3 million Jamaicans has gone up by $58 billion by comparison, a small fraction of the amount we devoted to increasing public sector compensation. As Minister of Finance, sworn to represent all Jamaicans, we cannot afford to allocate resources based on who shouts loudest. On one hand, we have approximately 3 million people who are crying for improvements in roads, water, garbage, public transportation, sewage, and other public services, which can only be addressed by an increase in allocation to capital expenditure that funds public investments. Yet, twice in this fiscal year, we had to reduce capital expenditure to accommodate wage demands. I can't be any more transparent on this, and I hope all Jamaicans hear me that if this continues, the country will go backwards very quickly.
I think some of the doubt that has been placed in people's mind has been as a direct result of the communications from the EOJ with regard to the results of the local government election. The EOJ seem to have muddied the waters more than have cleared up the misconceptions or even the actual information that people have. And so I think work may have to be done to actually educate the public as to the local government system and the law, etc. I don't think it's just local government elections, because we have our general elections coming up and we would not want to see a kind of repeat as is the situation now. All the work that was being done up until that time seemed to have come to a halt with the change in government. The fact that you had a new arrangement in place, it was incumbent on the administration to begin the work of communicating that arrangement. The truth is, when you look at the act, several things that should have been happening that the act actually called for, they're not really happening. One of them is that each local authority is supposed to have annual meetings with the citizens. That has not happened at all. But how many citizens know? The work should now commence in terms of bringing our citizens into the knowledge of what the role that citizens and stakeholders have in the system.
There's no difference in counting this time around as against other elections. I think we need to understand, and the public need to understand, it goes through two processes. On election night, you get what is known as the preliminary count. The preliminary count is what happens after the close of poll in an individual polling station, where the presiding officer, along with the indoor agents, count the ballot and then tally the votes and then pack everything in a ballot box and transport that to the returning officer. And then what the returning officer does at the night of election, they then take all the number, transcribe the number that is on the ballot box, and they end up with what is known as the preliminary count. That was done, and the result was announced on Monday night, as it relates to the preliminary count. Then we embarked on another phase, and this is dictated by the law. The law requires us to do a final count. The final count entails, and I think the public need to understand, that what happens in the final count, and it has never taken place, and there's a narrative going around that it is slow. The final count has never been completed in Jamaica in 24 hours. So the process entails that the returning officer, in the presence of the agents at the counting center on the second day, which was Tuesday, and at times the agent representative is a battery of lawyers. What they do, the returning officer opens the ballot box, then examine every document, most of the document in the ballot box, including the poll books, another thing, the unused ballots, etc., etc. And then they begin, in most cases, the count of the ballot. What it means is that they examine every single ballot that is put in the ballot box. And at times, the time that it takes to count a ballot in that situation, sometimes it takes longer than the norm, because everybody is looking to see whether it is properly marked, if there's an issue. And therefore, sometimes it takes time. And therefore, that process has to be completed. We cannot circumvent that process in order to speed up the count. And therefore, it takes some time. And that's what we're going through.
So then, what happened in Clarendon?
Clarendon, and it happens. In other words, what we remember again, on Monday night, you have a preliminary count. There are times when they begin to do the final count, maybe there was an error in terms of the addition, etc., etc. What happened in Clarendon is that in a particular box, one of the candidates was given the wrong number of votes, and therefore it flips around. But the person who got the highest number in that particular box, the correct thing was that he should have gotten the lower figure, and that changes the mix or the calculation.
And this was in the Annan Town division. So which candidate initially got the wrong number of votes? Like how did it go? On which side?
The PMP candidate got the wrong number.
Which would have declared that candidate the winner
on the preliminary count night.
On the preliminary count, and then it was
switched around. So therefore, in the final count, the correction was made, and then the JLP candidate won that division.
Okay. What happened with St. Mary?
St. Mary, it's it was the calculation and the addition that took place. That caused after that count was completed.
So you can drop an honest opinion in the comment section and tell me what you think. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Run over to my other platform, Instagram and Facebook, and follow me over there at Isabel Rose. Check out the YouTube store, make a purchase, it goes in support of the channel. Check out the YouTube membership, you get a lot of benefits by becoming a member. We do notifications, shout out in each and every video to be a part of that. All you have to do is be the first to like, comment and subscribe, and you will be featured in the following video to come. Big up to each and every subscriber. Thanks for the continued support. New viewers, come on board, journey with me, join the family. Subscribe to the channel, like up the video, share out the video, support the ABR movement. On the road to 20K, help me to get there, my people, by playing your part. We can do it. Get this video to at least 2,000 likes. Stay tuned for more videos, stay tuned for more updates. Big up on yourself.